Struggling with your game sense? Does it feel like no matter what, the opponents seem to always be there? Well, stick around and I'll have a solution for you. How's it going, guys? I'm Bizzy B, and this is my very first Rocket League how-to video. I know, who the cares, right? Alright, so a little bit about me. I'm a Twitch streamer and I've been playing Rocket League off and on since around 2015. I'm currently sitting in Champ 1 in 2s and 3s, but depending on how terrible I play that day, I can still drop to Diamond in 3s. For the purposes of this video, everything is going to be centered around 3s play, but the content can still be applicable to 2s. The main topics for this game sense video is going to be spacing, rotations and positioning, and control. Now, this isn't intended to be an all-inclusive video, and if you see something you think I'm wrong about, or something I might have missed, please drop a comment in the comment section so I can address it. Alright, so with all that in mind, let's get busy. So after dozens of double commits, triggered teammates, and reviewing countless of hours of videos from the greats like Thanovic, Verge, and Spook Luke, Bizzy's going to share what he thinks he knows about spacing. So the first most helpful tip for me was thinking about the field being broken up into quadrants or squares. So I like to think about it as 6 squares on your side of the field, 6 squares on the opponent's side of the field, for a total of 12 squares to be played at any given time on the field. So if we take a look at the clip from here, we can see that all of our teammates are trying to stay at least 1 square length away from each other. You never want to be within the same square as your teammate. The idea behind this is to control more of the field with your own individual zones of coverage. Your zone of coverage is the portion of the field that you can cover with your car. This decreases the likelihood of double commits and gives your team a better opportunity to recover when things go awry. So in this next part of the clip, you'll see that all the opponents are within 1 or 2 squares of each other and they're all located in the same part of the corner. I assume they realize this because shortly after they start breaking out into better positions, but by then it's too late because our team is already in better positions. We're both rotating back and AK has already been back so he can come up and try to make a challenge for the ball. I got to champ without even learning to air dribble, and spacing is something I think about every time I go into a match. Spacing also increases the chances your team will get a goal if the opponents misread a ball or give up possession of it. A useful tool to help with spacing is the swivel camera. You can use your swivel camera to identify where your teammates are and adjust yourself as necessary. One thing I cannot stress enough is never, ever, ever have more than one person in a corner. If you have the urge to push a corner while your teammate is there, just please be patient and wait for the play to come to you. There's no sense in double committing and risking a goal. Break it down for you simply. A simple but effective approach to think about rotations is trusting your teammates and finding an area that isn't covered and covering the out of that area. This is especially good for solo queuing if you run into those dodge demons who just want to Ricky Bobby and push the ball every single time. Just be patient and wait your turn and capitalize on your positioning. Another tip is going back post after you're done challenging the ball. Don't continue to challenge and leave your teammates to either double commit or let you embarrass yourself. Just rotate back post or far post, however you want to say it, and wait till your turn again. Now what I mean by rotating far post or back post is going to the post of the goal that is opposite of the ball. So for example, if the ball is right here, you're going to want to go this direction and rotate to this post. Rotating far post will make it clear to your teammates that you are no longer in the play and you can cover the goal so they can go up for their challenge. Communication is key to maintaining proper rotations and spacing, so if you can't have voice comms or if you're solo queuing, rotating far post is a great way to say, please help me, it's your turn. When you're rotating back or making a play on the ball, you need to make sure that you're making it clear to your teammates what you're planning to do. If you intend to challenge for a ball, you need to commit 100% to that challenge. If you second guess yourself or hesitate, you will confuse your teammates and give up possession to your opponents. If you are rotating back, you need to make sure you're going straight back to far post and not faking a challenge, because this could also confuse your teammates. Control over the game. So the most helpful tip that I can give when it comes to control is practice, practice, practice. Aerial control, dribbling, and passing is something my teammates and I try to practice every single day. It will probably feel uncomfortable at first and you'll likely think that you're not doing it right, but keep practicing and eventually these skills will translate in game. So something that helped me tremendously with my practicing was downloading Bacchus mod. If you're on PC, you're in luck, but if you're on console, sorry, stick around and I have some tips for you without these maps later on in the video. Let me know in the comments section if you have any trouble downloading Bacchus mod or the maps, because I can make a separate video on how to do all that. I'll throw a link to bacchusmod.com in the description. If you can download Bacchus mod, and once you have it downloaded, for aerial control you're going to want to use any variation of Leathermere's rings. For dribble control, I like to practice using Leathermere's dribbling challenge, French fries dribbling challenge number 2, and the path. Spend some time before matches to work on your dribbling and air control because it will help in the future with your team's control. And for all of you unfortunate console users, Bizzy said he's got a solution for you too. So just go into free play and do figure eights around the pillars map. You could practice doing air rolls and figure eights around the pillars map with directional air roll, or you could just try to stay afloat in the air. You can also practice your dribbles by doing the same figure eights around the pillars map. And all that dribbling practice is going to help you get that ball on top of your car because that's important for flicking the ball over your opponents to make a good play downfield with your teammate. It will also help with your ground play and keeping the ball close to you. This is especially important in doubles because there's much more space available on the field. When you are trying to work on control, you need to be aware of where your opponents are positioned at all times. This goes back to my point about using your swivel camera. A good tip for me was you can get a lot of power on a ball from waiting until right after the first bounce. This is a great technique for clearing the ball away if your teammates are low on boost or need a little more space. When an opponent gets control of the ball after defending for a while, they will likely try and send a large clear downfield because they simply want the ball out of their zone. On the other hand, if your opponent catches the ball, you need to immediately think about you and your opponent's positioning to challenge the ball and go for the counterattack. Another way to control the game is to keep someone challenging for the ball at all times. You don't want to be trapped on your side with low boost or else it'll be a really hard situation to get out of. Challenging and reducing space to your opponent can force a flick or clear from your opponent and cause them to give up their possession. Adjusting yourself to the speed of the play will also help your team take control of the play. If your opponents are aggressive and are going for demos and big hits on the ball, try getting possession and making small passes to your teammates and then making a big clear downfield. This will likely force a double commit or a miss from your opponents to open up the field. A big clear to aggressive opponents after a pass could go over the opponent's head and even lead to a goal. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've learned anything because I'll be making future content. As this is my first video, I'd really appreciate your feedback, so please leave a comment with what you thought about the video. I also have a Rocket League dedicated Discord server full of people all learning together. I'll link the invite in the description if you're interested. Thanks again for watching. Stay busy.